Good afternoon, girls. I just wanted to upload a quick video just to help you guys out with your homework, which is just an extension of our classwork that we didn't finish. But once again, I knew there's a few people needed a bit more clarity on that. So just a quick refresher. If you remember what we did in our lesson, we looked at three functions. Okay, we've got introduction to functions, and we looked at three different functions, which is sum, average, and count. And we would have discussed what each of these functions do, but essentially sum adds up the values in whatever cell range you select. Average calculates the mean, which you guys know is the total amount, all the numbers added up divided by the amount of numbers. And count basically just counts the amount of numbers or integers you can see in a cell. So your homework slash classwork, there is on task 3, there was at least 10 different instructions as to what to do. By now, if you finished task 1, you would have had this full table like this. Okay, task 1 was literally filling in and completing the table as you can see on the worksheet. So your second task says, this is where we look at our sum function. Our second task says, in cell B7, enter the function to calculate the total amount of matches 1. Okay, so this is where we use our cell references, okay? If we look here, the cell we clicked on is currently B7. But if we select a range of cells, it tells you this is our cell range from B2 to B5. So the first one we want to do is sum, because we want to find out the total number of matches 1. So as we do sum open bracket, we then select the cells we want to add up, close our bracket, and press enter. Don't worry about autofill because we're not actually using that for now. This is the same thing that applies for instruction number 3, which is in cell B8, enter the function to calculate the total number of matches lost. So this time we're going to write equals sum, open bracket, we're going to click and drag a cell range here, which is C2 to C5, and press enter, and this will give us the amount of matches 1 and lost. We know this is correct because, for instance, if I change that to 150, then it changes automatically, but we're not doing that. We'll skip the next two because we just use our sum. The next one was average. So if we go to question task 6, it says in B11, which is B11 now, enter a formula to calculate the average amount of matches 1. So we're going to use our average one now, equals average, open bracket, and we're going to select the matches 1, and it should tell us an average, when close the bracket, of 19.75. Once again, we know that's correct because if we change this, our average will also change. Excellent. We'll skip the next few, and then the last one we're going to look at is task 10, which talks about in B15, enter a function that's going to count the amount of cells with numbers within them. So we're going to go equals count, open bracket, and we're just going to select all the numbers in our original table, and it should say that we've got at least 16. Excellent. So all you're doing is going from task 1 to 10. Task 1 is just populating the table. Task 2 to task 5, you're using our sum function. From task 6 to task 9, you're using your average function, and from just task 10, you're going to use your count function. Okay, so in an ideal world, you have figures and numbers from all the way here down to all the way here based on following the instructions, and then you're just going to go and submit your work. But yeah, if there's anything else you want me to cover or need help with, please come and find me on this break time or lunchtime so we can assist you further with your homework.